Welcome everyone to another splits training video. In this video, we'll be working flexibility of our hip rotators, our hip flexors, quads, and hamstrings. So all of the major muscle groups needed for splits. We will be working flexibility for front splits as well as middle splits. So let's jump right into this. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Find stillness here, bring attention to your breath. On your inhale, gently pull your chest open forward, your shoulders down and back along your spine. And on your exhale, allow everything to round forward. Inhale, open up, and exhale, round forward. We'll release a little through our neck and our upper body first. So drop your chin on over towards the left side. Through center to the right. Return to center. Begin to fold forward a little bit. So we'll press into the stretch, release gently, and press right back into it again. No need to move exactly how I'm moving here. Move with your own body. Press and release, beginning to open up into your hips. Begin to take those forward and backwards motions into a circular motion. And switch directions. Find yourself in the center once again. Rock out a little left and right and find some stillness. Press into the stretch, pressing your chest actively forward, finding as much length through your spine as possible. Inhale, lift up. Lean back a little as you extend your right leg out towards the diagonal of the room here. Begin to press your chest over the extended leg. Inhale, lift halfway just to find enough length through your spine, and exhale, fold over once again. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. We're taking lots of movements here to work ourselves into the hamstring. So after we've done our dynamic movements, lifting and folding, now hold down, breathe into the stretch. your next inhale, slowly release all the way up to seated tall. Lean onto your left arm. Pull your right knee and then your right leg up towards your chest, tapping down on the mat. So we'll begin a little bit of a dance flow here. Lift the leg up, tap the toe towards the floor, bend the knee, extend up, and keep it straight all the way down. We're drawing a big circle with our foot. Your foot stays as close to your body as possible on its way up and extends away from your body on the way down. And we'll begin to reverse that motion, so keep it straight on the way up, bend on the way down. And pick up the speed a little bit, building some heat in that hip, working mobility here. Next time that leg is up, hold there, extend the leg high. You can reach around the foot or around the ankle. Take the rest of your body however is comfortable for you, as long as you're getting a nice stretch in that hip and your inner thigh muscles. Gently extend the leg all the way down towards the floor. Release yourself to seated. Stretch out a little bit, even yourself out. Take any little wiggles or movements that feel good here, and we'll start out the other side. Extend your left leg long, fold over forward. And we'll move through those series of half lifts and folds. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Continue moving out here. Lift, fold. And when you're ready, find some stillness. Breathe deeply into your left hamstring. Next inhale brings you all the way up to seated tall, leaning onto your right side. Inhale the left leg up high, and exhale, extend it down long. Inhale tall, and exhale, release down towards the mat. Continue this motion, no need to move at my same pace. Move with your body. And we'll go ahead and switch directions. So we bend on the way down and straighten on the way up. Pick up the speed a little. If your hip is feeling warm, you're doing it right. Keep moving. Move fast enough to get a little burn here. Hold the leg up by the ankle or by the foot, wherever is comfortable to grab for you. Extend all the way long and find your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Inhale, big roll in your shoulders, and exhale, let it go. Next step, we'll make our way to a downward facing dog. Begin to walk out the knees left and right. Stay strong through your hands and your shoulders, creating a straight enough line from your wrists to your shoulders to your hips as you can. Inhale, lift high on your heels, and exhale, set your heels a little closer towards the mat. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Inhale, open up your right knee towards the ceiling. And feel free to watch this movement first before you incorporate it into your own practice. We're drawing a large circle with the knee, pulling it into the chest, up and open to the side. Getting a little core work too in that forward motion as you hinge forward. Hold the left knee open. And set it down on the floor. Switch sides. Start to draw the big circles on the other side. Hold that leg open. And return to downward facing dog. Take your feet wide to the edges of your mat, your hands wide to the edges of the mat. Take a deep squat here, setting your knees wide on your mat, big toes to touch. Lay into a deep child's pose here. As we inhale, hinge forward a little. Keeping your back as arched as possible, press your hips back towards your heels. Inhale forward and exhale, press back. Forward and back. Feel like an added shoulder stretch here as we sink into child's. Bend your elbows, take your palms to touch. Gently roll yourself all the way up to seated on heels. Big roll on the shoulders. Realign yourself to your breath, and we will lunge our left leg forward into a low lunge here. Hands come to either side of that front foot. Tuck the back toe to protect the back knee if it bothers you, and we'll take some little motions hinging forward and lifting back to center. Next time you're forward, hold there. Use your left palm to open your left knee a little wider. Return to center and exhale, sink back for a hamstring stretch. We'll build a little flow here. So next inhale, you'll hinge forward into that low lunge. Left palm to the inside of the left knee or thigh. Open up. Inhale, center. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open the knee. Center. And back. Continue this flow. Forward, open, center, back. Move at your own pace here. If it feels good to hold in one position a little longer, do that. Next time you're forward, go ahead and hold there a little longer. Keep the left knee pressing out towards the left, but start to work dropping your right hip a little closer towards the mat. So your side is now oriented toward the mat instead of your front body. Gently come back to center, rock out, forward and back. And next time you're back, sink all the way back. If this doesn't feel good on your bottom knee, by all means stay up in the upright hamstring stretching position. But if it feels good to be here, get a little deeper, do that. Lift yourself up through center, find that low lunge, rock it out several more times. Each time you rock into your lunge, see if you can walk your front foot out a little more forward or your back foot a little out back. We'll begin to work towards our front split on our left side. So even if you don't come all the way down to the mat, come to where it feels comfortable but a little uncomfortable for you. So it shouldn't be to a point of pain. Just a slight stretch. And wherever you're at, hold there. If you're curious on how to use a block in your splits, I go over that in yesterday's video actually, so you can go check that out. I'll link that here. Begin to make your way out of your split and into a pigeon pose. Tucking the left heel close to the right hip. Sit up nice and tall, engaging the inner thighs. Lift up. And as you exhale, allow yourself to sink down a little deeper towards the floor. Find your edge here. Gently release from your pigeon. Sit up nice and tall. Begin to bend your back knee. See if you can reach back for the ankle. Always an option to use a strap here. I'll show several different variations on screen in case one appeals to you guys. If you ever want me to break down one of the variations, leave it for me in the comments. I'd love to help out. Gently release back to all fours, rock forwards and backwards through child's pose and through all fours. Come up nice and tall and we'll start those stretches on the other side. Right leg lunges forward. Take some deep breaths here, beginning to open up through the hip flexor on the left side. Hands come down to either side of that front foot. And begin rocking forward and lifting back to center. Hold forward, right hand to the inside of the right leg. Press the knee out a little bit further. Pull back to center and exhale, hamstring stretch. We'll continue that flow. Inhale forward, exhale, open the knee, open the hip. Inhale center and exhale, press back for hamstring stretch. Continue moving through this flow at your own pace, opening the knee and stretching the hamstrings. Next time you're forward, go ahead and hold there. Open up that knee once again. Tilt the right foot towards the right side of the room and begin to drop your left hip and the left side of your body towards the floor, supported by your left arm. Gently make your way back to center and continue those forwards and backwards rocking motions to shake everything out a little bit there. Next time you're back, hold there. And begin to sink into that hamstring stretch at the back of your mat. Gently release yourself up. Continue the forwards, backwards rocking motions. And now we'll begin to work our way to our front split on our right side. So take your time here, move with your own pace. I'll continue to show some variations and my own stretching on screen. Begin to make your way out of your front splits on your right side. Come back to that low lunge and eventually sink down into your pigeon pose. Right heel comes close into that left hip. Sit up nice and tall. Engage your inner thighs in towards one another, and as you exhale, allow yourself to relax and lower into the stretch. Continue to breathe here, opening up that outer hip, the right side. Begin to release all the way out of your pigeon. Sit up tall. Option to reach back for that back foot. See if you can square your upper body off towards the front of the room while you stretch here. Gently release that back foot. Bring your hands down to either side of the mat. And bring your knees down to the floor. Rock forward and back through all fours, pressing your hips back actively towards the back wall. Take your knees a little wider and sink down to a wide-kneed child's pose. Begin to work your way to a frog stretch from your child's pose. So ease into it slowly. Allow your knees to come a little wider. If I'm looking at you from the side, the knees are directly in line with the hips. And if I was looking at you from above, the knees would be a 90-degree angle. Feet flex as well to protect the knees here. Continue to breathe deeply, sink into it slowly. Allow the muscles of the inner thighs and the hip rotators to open up. Frog splits are the perfect primer for working towards your middle splits. So we will work our frog splits first here, then work through our straddle and our middle splits. If middle splits are too intense for you, take your frog splits instead. Well, gently make your way out of your frog splits and to seated. Take your legs wide in a straddle, but not quite wide enough to where you want to sink into a middle splits. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe you pick up your hips to get yourself in the right position here. Knees and toes stay facing upwards towards the ceiling as you work your way forward. And really try and keep as flat of a back as possible through the stretch. Continue to breathe and sink deeper into your straddle. If you have the flexibility to work towards a pancake stretch with your chest flat to the floor, take that variation now. If you're working towards a pancake stretch, it's super important to stretch your straddle with as flat of a back as possible. If you aren't sure if your back is flat, you can try looking in a mirror or attempting to stretch while on your back and actively pulling your legs wider. This ensures that your back stays flat against the floor and you'll know if you pop up. If you feel you're ready to attempt your middle splits, sit up tall, take your legs as wide as they go, and begin to lean over forward. When you're working middle splits, your knees will rotate forward towards the front of the room. You're no longer trying to keep them pointed straight up towards the ceiling. So really the same positioning as your frog splits, only difference is your knees are extended. So So again, if this is too intense for you, take your frog split. Continue to breathe deeply here, take any variations that suit you. And gently make your way all the way back up. Take your hands to your knees to pull them in towards one another. And windshield wiper the knees a little left and right as you sit up tall. Give the muscles in your legs a little love for all the work you put them through today. And find an easy seated position. Bring attention back to posture. Release any little last bits of tension you're holding on to in your body. And I'd like to thank you all for flowing with me today, stretching with me and working on our splits together. Take one big breath in up towards the ceiling and pull into heart center. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and all your love and support. Let me know in the comments how this flow made you feel. Namaste.